truck's guts. Hey Clooney Garage fans, welcome back to the channel. Working on the VP Commodore again today, and as you can see we've got our livery on. It's starting to come together, but there's no engine. What are you doing here, Fred? When you go into Gentech, bits have arrived. We've got our 5-litre EFI block that we got from our wrecked VN Commodore that you might remember from a few episodes ago. A bunch of special bits are going to go into that. It's been to the machine shop. We've ordered a whole heap of stuff. Let's get stuck into the action. Let's go. Hello, mate. How you going?
I'm good. Yourself?
Oh, pretty good. Even better today. We were engine assembly day.
Yes.
Oh, look out. Oh, so for all those eagle-eyed viewers, we've got a big 5-litre here, but she ain't going to be 5-litre for long, maybe 5.7.
That's right.
Oh, look out. All right. So, mate, take everyone through the donor engine for this, where it's come from, and then we'll show all the viewers what we've been doing.
So, yeah, basically we're starting off with an EFI block, so VN to VS. So, your injected 5-litre.
Righto.
So this is still the factory 2-bolt main. It's been a line honed. We're going to put ARP studs in that.
Right.
We've clearanced all in here.
So in here. Is that for the fit the stroker kit?
Fit the stroker and the connecting rods in there.
Yep.
So that's all been relieved.
Righto.
New cam bearings fitted. We've also done an annulus in the front cam bearing, which you can't see because the cam bearing's already been fitted.
Right.
And then number 4, we do a oil mod on number 4, the lifter bore.
Mm-hmm.
We put a plug in there.
I hear the LS number 3 is good fun.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Preventative maintenance.
And then we've also got a pipe kit that we run from the front to the back to equalise the oil pressure from the front to the back of the engine.
Okay.
Because that is renowned for losing oil pressure at the rear at times.
Righto. And a bit of grinding out here too?
Yeah, we just relieve the block and just clean it all up so the oil runs back nicely.
Righto. How many hours do you reckon this has spent on machine work, mate?
Machine work? A couple of days, but all the grinding and playing around is probably a good 5-6 hours.
Yeah, right. Okay. And she's been sitting in the tank for a while?
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Righto.
Only because the machinist was taking his time, so he just sat in the tank.
Righto, we'll just show all the views and the bores here. So with the stroker kit, what do we bore it out to?
This size is 4.030.
Right.
So we've measured all the decks and we've decked the block to square because it was out a bit.
Okay.
So 308s are renowned for being out, 3 or 4 thou. I've seen them as far as 20 thou from one side of the deck to the other. So that's all been deck square. We've worked out our compression ratio.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's all. We just got to do a final wash. We've already done all our piston to bore and clearance and all that sort of stuff, so we know what all that is.
Righto.
And then we're ready to do final assembly.
How many Ks you reckon this motor had done previously, or that doesn't really matter now we've done all this work?
No, it doesn't matter. I think it had about 290,000 from memory.
Righto, so we're starting from a blank canvas now though.
That's it.
All right, next, let's get stuck onto the next bit. All right, so I've done the block, now let's get onto the crank. So what do we got here?
Come Racing 355 stroker crank. So nodular iron-piece.
Yep.
3.484 is the stroke.
Okay.
And you'll see here that we've drilled some holes for some balancing stuff.
Okay. So this is like a off-the-shelf item from Chevrolet Marine Engines, but cool.
Brand new.
Yep. Ready to turn some anger.
That's it.
Right. All right, mate, on from the crank onto some con rods and pistons there. What do you got there?
Yeah, so this is a part of the Come Racing stroker kit. 5.7 inch rod. We're using a King bearing. We've chamfered the bearing to suit. There's a Wiseco piston. We've had the face ceramic coated.
Right.
And we've got the skirts Teflon coated.
Oh wow, okay.
So these rings are already pre-fitted. We have set all the ring gaps and all that stuff already. So it's literally ready to go. We've filed all the rings. We've done all that. Okay. Done all the prep work. And then measured all the clearances. We've done all that. It's all done. It's ready to go.
Righto. And then onto some bit of balancing then.
Yeah. So this is all your balance factor and all your numbers. So each crank when it's balanced, you get one of these sheets.
Yep.
And that's all allowing for everything. Your rod bearings.
You get a bit of oil.
Even oil.
Oh, jeez.
2 grams.
Scientific. Woohoo!
That's it.
All right, very good. All right, what are we on to next?
Hydraulic roller camshaft.
Oh.
So we've decided to go with a hydraulic roller in this application.
And I hear that it's going to wake the dead.
Oh, it'll have a reasonable lobe. It's got a fairly close lobe center to make it a bit more angry sounding.
And what sort of RPM do you reckon this will run at?
Oh, we'll probably top it out at 6.2, 6.5 thereabouts. It's not a big rever.
Yeah.
Not a massive revving engine. We've allowed for, it'll be a good strong deal to do some circuit stuff.
Yep. Very good. In between 4 and 6 is where the sweet spot is. So
yeah, it'll be very good in that application. So there has been quite a lot of conjecture about flat tappet camshafts, and there's been a lot of issues lately. We're very particular about our camshafts, and we get them treated. We get them cryo treated. This camshaft has been cryogenically treated.
Righto.
Which is they freeze it.
Oh wow.
Yes. So very cold.
Yep. Okay.
And that changes the molecular structure of the metal. Since I've been doing that, I haven't had any camshaft issues.
Righto.
And I'm pretty particular with flat tappet cams. We flute and reface all the lifters. I'm very particular about it because they're very sensitive.
Righto.
So, yes.
No worries.
The next piece to the puzzle is probably your roller lifter. Yeah, we've gone with an Isky lifter.
Oh, so drag racing Isky lifters here, mate. What do you got here?
Yeah, so this is the Isky lifter we use for this application.
Right.
A couple of the other brands, they're Chinese made, and I have had some failures with them, so I'm not real keen. So I'd rather spend a bit more money, and I've been using these for about 5 years, and they've been pretty good. So they are actually an LS lifter.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you can use them in an LS as well.
Okay.
It's got a trapdoor in it. Windage tray that can be removed.
So these were designed originally for the 253, but they'll bolt up to the 308.
Yep, it is a Commodore Cup. Yep, from ASR oil pans.
Yep.
Pretty impressive bit of kit.
It is. Jeez, look at that.
Yep, comes with its own oil pickup and everything.
Okay.
So, yep.
Bit of strainer action there.
Yeah, so that's all cool.
And is there any more oil capacity in that sump compared to the other one, or is it just...
Yeah, it's 8 litres.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is a bigger oil capacity sump, yes.
That's nearly up around Clooney's capacity.
Yes, it is. Very close.
Yeah, right. All right, moving on from the sump, moving this all around, you got a bit of an oil pump there.
Yes, so we're pretty particular about the oil pump we use. I was using another brand that shall remain nameless. We were having some issues.
Okay.
I was using this oil pump for a number of years, but they are a little bit harder to get, this particular brand. But going back to this, and it's much more stable with this one. So it's what we call a semi-high volume oil pump with this particular brand pump. You have to be real careful with this particular brand pump because this internal diameter where this oil pump shaft goes down can be a bit tight. We've already tidied up this oil pump shaft to make sure that it spins nicely in there.
Yep.
This particular brand pump can be a bit tight, and I have seen these fail because of that. So we've done a modification to the pump internally as well to boost the oil pressure.
Right.
One other thing I'd like to discuss is the oil pump gear. With a hydraulic roller camshaft, you have to use the hardened gear.
Okay.
So if you use the traditional cast iron gear, it won't last very long because this is steel and it eats it up.
Gotcha.
So that goes on there.
And that little fella hasn't been cryogenically frozen, has he?
No, this one hasn't been treated. It's been hardened. It's a treated gear already.
Right.
That's how you buy it.
Yeah.
So that's all part of that. And we also use a Rollmaster timing set with that.
Okay.
Fully adjustable, so when we do the camshaft, we dial it in.
Right, double row.
Yes.
Right, okay. All right, mate. So if we get torque in the rotating assembly, we're getting the power in these bad boys. Look at these. Oh, my God. What have you done here?
So we've CNC ported the heads.
Right.
We've machined the heads to suit 7/16 stud.
Righto.
These are the guide plates that we're going to use. So they will go in there.
Yep.
Obviously one each. And then we use this stud.
Okay.
Which mounts to the rocker. So we've, here we've You can see we've cleaned up the combustion chamber as well. We're using a 202 intake valve.
Okay.
1.6 exhaust. You can see there it says 64 cc. So we've measured all the combustion chambers, and we've decked the heads to make 64 cc's to get our compression ratio where we want it.
Where do you reckon it's at, do you reckon?
10.5 to 1.
Oh, wow. Okay. Not quite methanol territory, but that's all right.
No. So there's the intake ports have been done as well by our mate Mr. Higgins.
Yeah. Spent some time on the CNC machine, this thing.
Yeah. And then we're using a pack dual spring. It's actually an LS spring.
Okay.
With a retainer to suit, and then we've actually changed the collets. We've actually and shimmed the springs to suit the camshaft lift.
Are these valve springs and that to suit a big lift cam? What sort of lift are we talking about?
On the intake it'll be 585, and on the exhaust it'll be 621.
621?
Yeah, it's got a fair bit of lift.
Totally. That's going to chop all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, mate. So you've got some other piece de resistance to cover up these...
yeah, so we're using a Cometic head gasket as well. So 40 thou head gasket, 4.1 diameter.
Okay. And some CNC beautiful looking rocker covers.
Yeah, so you've provided us with some rocker covers to use.
Oh, gosh. I think the viewers have seen those in another episode, but they will look very nice.
Yep, so we'll fit them up.
All right, mate. A bit of yellow terror action for the rockers.
Yeah, so we're using a 7/16 stud yellow terror rocker.
Right.
I traditionally would always use a crane, but they've been taken over by Comp, and the rockers aren't as good as they used to be.
Oh,
so
okay.
We have to use a yellow terror.
Yeah.
I did a Walkinshaw last year, had those rockers, and they were fine. So I figured they'll be good enough for the job.
Yeah. All right, mate, we're getting close to the end here. What do you got yourself here? A bit of twin throttle body action?
Yeah, so we've gone with the Cum Racing twin throttle body manifold.
Oh.
They were on back order for a number of years, but they're back.
Look at it. Is that going to clear my bonnet, you reckon?
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Okay.
Fits under the bonnet of a VL, so I reckon it'll fit under the bonnet of yours.
All right, let's do it. Otherwise, I'll be cutting a hole.
Nah, it'll be right.
Righto. So these
flow probably as good as a Group A manifold.
Okay.
But nowhere near the cost.
No.
So obviously, a bunch of bananas manifold falls on its face at 4,800 RPM.
Oh,
so
geez. We've got to go north of that.
Yeah. And plus, you won't get as much heat soak as the standard manifolds.
Righto.
We've done all that over the years. We even tried extrude honing them back in the day.
Oh, jeez.
So, been building engines now since 1989, 35 years.
Oh, mate, look out.
Yeah.
Well, got some experience with us, so that's good. We're going to need it where we're going, and after the build on Clooney, this will be a walk in the park for you.
Yeah, that's it. It's a trip down memory lane for me, actually.
Yeah, nice one. All right. Well, mate, I think we're wrapping up here, so what's the next steps assembly-wise?
Next step, we'll just do final wash down, and then we'll basically be ready to assemble.
Measure up some push rods.
Yeah, the push rods aren't here because we need to assemble the engine and work out what our push rod length is for our rocket geometry to make sure it's correct.
Righto.
So we'll use an oil restrictor push rod in this application, which we get off Crow.
Right.
Pretty good push rod. I've been using them for 5 or 6 years now with Holden V8 stuff. It's been pretty good.
Yep.
Cool. So should be good.
Awesome, buddy. All right, mate. Let's get stuck into it. If you enjoyed our episode here today, Clooney Garage fans, we're getting seriously motivated to keep working on our VP. We've got to get our rear suspension, conies, and our springs back. Obviously, we've got to get our engine in. We've still got to do all the interior. It's still looking at a fair bit of stuff to do here. We've got to get our sparkos in, harnesses and roll cage. And then obviously, once our engine is assembled, we'll be taking the whole rolling chassis and assembly all into Gentech, and we'll get everything started to get fitted up. So probably a few more months. The engine will get built in the next week or so. That'll get wrapped in plastic. Hopefully we'll save up a few more brownie points. We can get stuck into this car and get it finished and to take it to one raceway and turn some laps. Catch you next time.